So this is our login screen. And once you have set up your account, this is where you'll log in. So go ahead and sign in. Then once you come into here, this is the dashboard. The reason we started creating this is because we started selling a lot of merchant fulfilled. And we have found that our numbers with merchant fulfilled versus FBA are about a $10 more profit per item. So if you have the space and the ability, there's a lot of advantages to merchant fulfilling your items. This is perfect for those who sell on Shopify, eBay, and Walmart because they don't have Inventory Lab to be able to hold their costs. So we're able to hold the costs and everything in our bin database. This is a web app, so you can use it on the laptop, tablet, or cell phone. If you use your tablet or cell phone as you go through, you can actually pick the items and subtract them as you go, but we'll discuss that later. This is completely confidential. Your data is your own. Only users can see your information. You can name your custom location. You can call it a closet, bin, rack, kitchen door, whatever you want to do. So if you want to add bins, you can actually name them in this field and call it whatever you want to call it. Do an example. And then you can save it. So then you've added your bin. And you don't have to do it this way. You can also do it as you go, which is the way that I prefer to do it. If you do that, you go to add new item. Then you'll select your bin, which if you have them already entered, it'll be a drop down, but you can create your own name there. Or if you have a scanner and you have the ability with a Dymo, you can create your own barcodes. You can name your bins with the barcodes and scan it right there in that field. The next field is the item's name. And you can take your scanner and we'll try this. So if we scan that, that comes up and it pulls the data from the web. Now, if you have a particular SKU, so we'll call this one Advil _ 1306. This is how we do our inventory in our system. That way we can capture the name of the item and then we use the last 4 digits of the UPC. So if we have 10 different Advil items, our pickers know which one is the correct one to pull for this order. And you can do anything like that with any of your other MSKUs, whatever kind of name you want to call them. You can put that right there in that field. The next is the cost. If you know your cost, say $4.99, you can put that right in there. And the expiration date can go in there. We have an expiration date on here of 7/24. So you would put 2024 07/01. And then that's there. Now that will be captured for this bin location. So if you use a different bin, or if you have a different price or a different expiration, you would want to put that in a different bin. A workaround for that is that you could name your bins bin 034A or bin 034B. That way your team can still go to the same bin and find the items. This is our workaround anyway for what we're doing. The next, and then you're going to want to save it. So we'll save that and you'll see it says 1. So now if we scan it again, so say we have 2 or 3 of these, we simply scan again and it automatically updates it to 2, updates it to 3. So this is why we scan each item as we bin it so that we know our counts are accurate and we don't allow people to say, oh, we're putting 4 in this bin and put a 4 quantity, because that people can miscount. We found that's an easy error to make. So in this case, we just make sure everybody scans each item as it goes in. Let's add another item to this bin. So we will go with this underground. All right, and we'll scan that. And this item is not in the system. So what we can do here is we can type what it is. So we'll call it Sonic Underground. And by not being in the system, we mean that it wasn't pulled from the UPC on the web. So for whatever reason, this UPC isn't on the web right now. So we can call it whatever we want to. We use as many keywords as possible so that it's searchable easily. Then we would call it Sonic _ 0021. We'll call it $19.99 buy cost. And then because there's no expiration, we can just tab right past that and save it. And so then now if we save it again, we want to put 2 in there. Now we've got 2, and you see it captured our same MSKU and everything right along with it. So now every time we use that, that same will come up. And it is editable. We'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. If we have an Advil with a different expiration date, we would have to go to a different bin or give it an A or a B or something so that it would be a different bin in the system's eyes. And then we can scan the item again. And you'll see all the same information pops up. But now we had either a different buy cost or a different expiration. In this case, we can do whichever one here. We'll make a change. All right, so there's our change. Now we're going to save it. So now when you scan it, it's going to show this newer date in this bin only. I'll scan it again. See how it still pulls the new information into there. Scan it again. It has searchability. You can go to the quick search, and this is where you can see your whole list of all your items. So say you realized that you only had 4 items of the Advil in bin 34. So you can subtract your 1 by going over there, clicking -1. And that's the same process you would do as you pick. So if you take your tablet or your phone and you're going through your inventory and you're picking your pick list for the day of all the orders, you can just literally click -1 each time you pull whatever you're pulling from the bin, and that will keep your counts accurate. Anytime you want to edit, there's an edit button there. If you want to change, you realize that it's not the 4 ounce, it's the 8 ounce or things like that. But let's say you entered the wrong MSKU and you realized it was an 8, not a 6. You could change that right there and make it the 8 instead of the 6. So if you want to do a search, say you want to find all the Sonic toys you have, you can do it right there, and that shows you all the Sonic. Now, if you would have Sonic in other bins, they would all be showing there in all their different locations. Now, one hack for this, I have found that if I oversell by accident on a marketplace, and for anybody who's been selling for a while, you know this happens. So say you have maybe Jurassic Red pajamas, and they're 3T, and you're out of stock. You can literally search anything that you have in Jurassic, and it'll show up all your other, or search pajamas or anything like that. You can find other styles that are in 3T that you can offer your customer so that you don't have a negative impact on your account. You can offer them another product, which they might take you up on. This helps you to be able to find that in all your inventory. Then if you go to reports, you'll see that you can actually export all of your information into either a PDF or an Excel file by this button here. This is perfect for accounting purposes. You can see all of your costs. You can see your total of your inventory value at any given time. You can see, which bins have your clearance prices or your regular prices. And you can do a total at the bottom for those who like to work with spreadsheets. You can also do a PDF for those who just want to see the image. This is perfect not only for accounting purposes, but also if you have an insurance claim or you need to prove your inventory for any banking records, things like that. All of our functions are fully editable, so you can go into edit cost at any time if you need to change your pricing and you realize that Sonic Underground in bin 34 was actually $18.99 and not $19.99. This is where you would go in to change that. So then you would need to change your costs, and you can do it right there to $18.99 or $16.99 or whatever you need to do. And then that will save it, and that will save that in that specific bin. So then you'll see we have our Advil, and we had our Advil divided into 2 different bins because of the 2 different expiration dates. So you'll see if the one was actually maybe a clearance date amount, then we can change that price, and you'll see that the price did not change in the other bin. But it did change for all 3 of those items in the quantity in bin 34A. So basically, all of the prices and expirations are tied to that particular item in that particular bin. However, when you scan the items, the descriptions will carry over with the scan. So they would carry over if you started at bin 35, that last one used would carry over. The price will also pop up and populate when you scan the item into a new bin, but you can change that price the first time you scan it into a bin. After that, it will automatically reprocess for that same item in that same bin. So let's talk about our bin report. At any time, you can verify your inventory counts by going here and looking at your bins. It'll show you all your bins listed and how many of each item are in that particular bin. So now we'll go back here to the dashboard, and on the dashboard you will see there is a column or a square for users. You can add users. This allows you to have each of your employees to have a different user ID. This is helpful because we also have a history, and in that history you can see who made what changes to what item. So to track your users, you go to item logs, and there you can see what changes were made, what day, what time, and by which user. So we're going to add something as ed2 so you can see this. So we're going to log out as ed1. We're going to go in as ed2. This is our second user. This person is not the admin. This is a normal user. So they don't have any of the admin functions on this account. So you'll see those are missing up there. So now if we add a new item, let's pick these batteries here. And we will scan them in, see what we got. All right, these are our Duracell. So if we want to add our own name, it would be Duracell 0010. And we'll call it $28. There we go. All right. And save that. So now we can go into our item logs and we can see that ed2 is the one who added that item at that time to bin 34. So we'll go to the dashboard here and you can see that we have at the bottom the subscription information. So for our light subscription plan, it is 500 units per month. And that you'll see there's 7 units, even though we had like 3 Advil or 4 Advil, or per item name, not per item. So you could have 9 Advil and that would count as 1 Advil product entered. Because it's specific products it has to do with the search algorithm and things like that we have to cover in the subscription. Then we have intermediate. Intermediate is up to 2,000 items per month. And then we have the Pro, which is unlimited items per month. And each of these categories can have various users, but all of the users will go to the same monthly total. Our subscription rates right now, as we're in beta and we're still testing things, our current price structure is $14.99 a month for 500 units, $19.99 for up to 2,000 units, and then $29.99 for unlimited. And this is the pricing structure right now. You can also get a discount of 1 month free if you pay annually. And that is right there in that toggle button. $164.89 for light, $219.89 for intermediate, and $329.89 for professional. These prices probably will be adjusted after we get out of our beta testing phase.